Adventure in Penland on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Julian Jorgensen from Rev Theory.
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
So you did such a great show at Aftershock that they sent you to prison.
Yeah, basically we were sent to the penitentiary. They said there's a lot of people that hear voices apparently out here, and we need all the psychiatric help we can get, so they called us up.
Now, when you're performing here at Ink, in your in-ear, were there any ghosts talking to you?
Well, so the thing now, because we literally are like, it's a punk rock moment for us. There's hardly any prep. There's no crew.
Nice.
So the voices and the ghosts that are in your head are very, very visceral. I mean, you're feeling things you haven't felt deep down in your balls since you were like 25.
Nice.
And we just started that nervous feeling that I don't even know if I'm going to get my gear set up in time. So the ghosts of the past definitely visited.
There you go.
For a bit. But it makes you feel alive, you know?
Now, have you visited the ghosts inside?
We did. And all I have to say is it's fucking hot in there, man.
Oh, I haven't
Holy
been there
shit.
today.
I can't believe people used to be treated like that, man.
Oh my God!
It's insane, man. It's insane. And apparently it was up until 1990s or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It wasn't long ago. I'm like, dude, that's a black mold fucking hazard, dude.
Oh my God! And the things there's a torture room in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So, like, if you go through Blood Prison, which is the haunted part, you don't know if the characters or the real ghosts are haunting you.
Really, dude, that's sick. I would love to have sexual relations somewhere in there. And I thought to myself, how many people are going to be banging in some of those latrines and these other weird spots, right? It's got to be a crazy sex show.
You could always have a sex show with the warden's wife who's a ghost in there.
I have a feeling there was a sex show in Shawshank that we wouldn't really be wanting to be a part of.
No, probably not.
The old Andy Dufresne, you know.
Oh, my God.
No one wants the old Andy Dufresne.
So it's funny because, you know, when you do this stuff all the time, it's a little different. Like my youngest daughter, she'll call me before every festival, and she'll like, "So, Dad, are you excited about this festival?" I'm like, "Well, I love doing it, and and it's a lot of fun, but I don't know if excited's the real word when you're doing it every weekend, you know?"
Right, yeah.
And so the first time I did this festival, I was like, I called her up. I was out there in the grass. I'm like, "I'm calling you from the prison yard of Shawshank." Now I'm excited. Because it is, like, I'm thinking of the artists like yourself. How fucking cool is it to have Shawshank as the backdrop? And then you have this prison next door. And I've seen inmates out in the yard. So you're like Johnny Cash performing to the inmates.
Believe me, all of those references, all that is those analogies. And like, you know, people ask me, what's your favorite movie? Like, what do you love? You got to say, and almost probably 9 times out of 10, I'd say Shawshank's up there.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, how many times was it on TNT and movies for guys who like movies and Spike and whatever? Like, it was just always playing in the early 2000s. And not only did we watch it, but like, I got to tell you, it's one of the most impactful, you know, pieces of, I would say, you know, philosophy essentially that our generation has. You know, Star Wars is probably the closest thing to like a religious kind of thing.
Yeah.
Matrix came up after that, and then I think Shawshank was truly like almost like a spiritual piece of legislature. You know.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned Star Wars because I'm also a motivational speaker. Wow. And the whole idea of the Force is the power of positive thinking.
That's right.
And the power of your mind.
That's right.
You know, so I don't know if everybody gets that message, but that is the message.
That is true. That
you
is
know?
true. Yeah.
And then the other part of it is, you know, we have all this AI stuff going on.
Yeah.
When we were younger, like, oh, shit, the machines are going to take over.
Yeah.
We were scared of this thing.
Yeah.
Now, in I forget which episode it is, but where they're going down that waterway and the droid gets in the water to save them, but sacrifices himself.
That's right.
I'm thinking, that's AI.
That's right.
Like
that's right.
before it was even out. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole concept of
Yeah.
it right there.
That's right.
Because here's something that'll blow your mind. So do you know why we don't have self-driving cars as a regular thing yet?
I mean, I can only speculate, but I'd love to hear your theory on it.
Well, more than theory, I did some research, and the thing is like, so when they're testing the self-driving cars, they do like this virtual thing on a mountain road, and they have a baby in the middle of the road, and the AI is supposed to decide whether to drive off the cliff and kill the driver and save the baby, or run over the baby and save the driver. So back to the Star Wars reference, the android sacrificing itself is the example, because basically, you know, the AI, its primary motive is to protect you, the driver, in those cars. So every time, currently, the AI will have you run over the baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they're doing is they're trying to teach the AI to make human decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
And once it can make human decisions, that's when we'll have self-driving cars.
That's true. I think you're right about that. I think, like, obviously there's like a deeper conversation of values, and like 'cause there's been some studies where it's like, okay, you have a group of baby ducks, you have a baby in a cart, and then you have the driver, right? And so prioritizing and understanding that level of nuance at a high speed. I mean, I always say it's the worst it's ever going to be today. Today it's
That's
so
a good line.
and today is so good, but it's the worst it's ever going to be. And every single day it gets better. Every single day it gets closer to that Star Wars kind of thing. But I do believe it has the right intentions right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how are you going to top incarceration? What's next?
So for me, honestly, we have a label, and talking about AI, like, a lot of people are anti what it is. And just the last couple of weeks, I just thought to myself, I'm such a fan of so many artists that are using AI on the visual side. And, you know, I'm one of them that use it on the music side. And believe it or not, people are listening to stuff that we make or I make. And whether it's Pandora, whether it's Spotify, and we say it's AI. And honestly, that's all I do is I'm trying to filter concepts, thoughts, and ideas as quickly as possible into tunes, into like something that happens in real time, out as fast as you can. I feel like we were missing that. You know, I feel like it takes 6 months to write a record. It takes all this time. There's all this politics. It's like, dude, the demos were the best the day you created them. And that's when you need to release it. And I do believe that AI allows me to do that. And that's all I do. I work all day and release AI music and content all day that I create.
I love what you're saying, because I never thought of it that way. And it makes so much sense, because like I think about it, if you're creating a song, you like get an idea in your head, and if you don't write it down right then and there, it's gone. And I experience it too with stuff like, whether it's doing interviews or anything else I do it, if I don't do it right then and there. So the AI is allowing you to do it right then and there before you forget.
Exactly. It's a voice note. It's a voice note. And, you know, I think the way we view content or posts, it's like everyone puts all this time into thinking that their art is the shit. It's like, well, just put it out and see if it's the shit, and put it out in real time, and put it out 10 times a day. Right. If you can keep up to that pace, then you're the 12-year-old that has the same tools, that is digitally native. If you don't do that, then you're a dinosaur. And we were kind of a dinosaur on this bill, you know, and that's okay. But you can also walk and chew gum at the same time, right?
Well, I love that concept too, because in my industry, you know, I always call the old heads, they have WKRP and Cincinnati syndrome.
Herb Tarlick.
Right?
Venus, Flytrap.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't live in that world anymore. You need to evolve or die in whatever you do. So you can hold on to, hey, I want things the old way, but the new way is going to happen whether you participate or not.
That's
So
right.
if you want to stay relevant, you might want to do the new way.
Totally.
You
Yeah.
know?
And like I tell the guys in the band, because Matty, my bass player, he's not into it. He doesn't like it, and that's okay, because the analog way is there too.
Yeah.
If you want to get together and record old school, let's do that too.
Yeah.
But guess what? Go coordinate it. Figure out the logistics, administrate the process. But no one wants to do that. And that's what AI does. It allows you to bypass all of this bullshit that we had to deal with just to get vocals on a song. It's like, well, now I have a recorded vocal of Rich from Slow Burn, which is one of our most incredible performances in nu metal, in my opinion. And I was able to model his vocal. And for the last 2 months, we've been putting out new Rev Theory music that I wrote with that vocal quality. And so about 9 out of 10 people are like, this is the best I've ever heard Rich. And then that one person goes, I think it's AI. Yeah, it is. But it's from us. It's from the band.
And it's one person.
And it's one guy who used to do it all too, and now we do it with this. So as long as it's good, that's all that matters. As long as it's great, that's all that matters.
Right? And if people enjoy it, and if
People
you
enjoy
enjoy it,
Exactly.
that's what counts. Like, and to your point, in my LA studio, I had this engineer who had 30 years experience in radio, which I will never hire somebody with that much experience in radio ever again.
Too much.
Because they have WKRP and Cincinnati syndrome. So one day I'm listening to my radio station on my phone, and I call him up. I'm like, dude, you gotta bring the levels down. It's way too hot.
Yeah.
And you know what his answer was to me? It sounds perfect in my headphones. Which, if you go back to the analog days, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Whatever you heard in the headphones is what was getting put out.
Yeah.
But not now.
Yeah.
And so I said to him, and he couldn't get the concept because I'd say it like multiple times, but I'm not wearing your headphones.
Right.
And it sounds like shit, and it's hot and distorted.
Yeah.
I'm like, go on the station
Right.
and listen to the station on your headphones.
Yes. Well,
Because that's what the end user is listening to.
I couldn't agree more as far as like, you're either going to get it or you're not going to get it. And sorry to hear about it. Sometimes the problem is you may know too much. You might have seen too much, and you're able to like roll with the times. That's basically what happens. So yeah.
Well, it's funny too. It's every industry. I used to be pretty big in the financial industry.
Oh, wow.
And so there's this movie, I don't know if you ever saw it, called Boiler Room.
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies, Giovanni Ribisi.
Okay.
Incredible movie.
I love it.
Incredible.
What's funny about that is I was in the business when that came out. And like even my kids were like, Dad, did they interview you for that movie? Because they're using all your lines.
Yeah.
Because whether you're legit or not legit, the sales process is the same. Everything in that movie is the same. The difference is you're doing it legally.
Right.
So
yeah.
in that group interview, which
Yeah.
I held all the time to hire my brokers, Ben Affleck goes, anybody here have a Series 7? And I used to do the same exact shit, okay? Pack your bags and leave. We don't hire brokers here. We train new ones. And there's a reason for that. Because the ones that were already brokers, they have bad habits and they think they know it all, and you can't train them to be better. Whereas the people that have no habits, no experience, you can mold them into a superstar.
Yeah.
And it's just like with a musician. That young musician who's playing around with his instrument is the one that's going to come out with some unique shit that nobody's ever done.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, when we started the band, we started in Long Island, and so my friend owned a car dealership. So I had graduated college, and so he basically allowed me to work at the dealership as a Canadian. They gave me my visa. So I got my visa to stay and work in the band, but I was working at the dealership in the day. So I was selling cars in Long Island. I mean, this in itself was a comedy show that epic proportions, right? Characters out the yin yang. But they had this Napoleonic little, small Jewish guy who was fucking just vicious, man, but smart, funny, quick, this guy, Charlie Levy, and every sales meeting, every morning, he goes, act as if it's your first day. He goes, everything you learn, throw it out the window. He goes, 2 things I'm going to teach you is to start smoking cigarettes so you can pick up customers on the lot and forget everything you know and follow these 3 steps. And it's like as much as cars is so retarded, selling cars is like, it's true.
It is
The
true.
less you know, the more you act that way, right?
As a superstar salesperson since I'm a kid and a sales trainer, it's 100% true. If a salesperson's in a slump, I tell them to go back to being a rookie and back to the basics.
Yeah.
Because you became in that slump because of all the shit you learned that doesn't sell shit.
That's right.
Now here, I don't think I said this last time, but because you brought up the island now, this will freak out. I used to manage Harrow's. Do you remember Harrow's?
What
the pool
year?
store?
What was the year?
From 86 to 89.
So the band started in 2002. We moved to Long Island, 2002. So I had no recollection, other than that it was the Guido capital and the capital of capitalism. That's what I call it. You will never see more strip malls and consumerism than in Long Island.
No doubt.
Bigger P.F. Chang's, the bigger Cheesecake Factory, right? But Harrow sounds like an interesting spot. What was it like?
It was a pool and spa store that turned into a Christmas store in the winter. Anybody from the island knows them.
Wow.
Because they were around for like 80 years.
Yeah.
Till the owners passed it on to their kids who fucked it up. Typical story. The
Classic.
kid that takes over the business but never really worked it, doesn't know what they're doing, has these fancy ideas that don't work, and kills it. So, but the island.
So what were you doing for them? Are you working on?
I managed one of their stores, and I was their top salesperson. I have like 10 stores.
Wow.
But I said it because you brought up the cars, because it's the same type of thing. It's like anything you sell like that, retailing. It is a different world. But you're so right. It's like once you start, even in the financial business now. I left that to go into financial business. The Wolf of Wall Street, I knew him personally. He was my competition. Okay?
That's awesome.
And Boiler Room, by the way, is also about his firm.
Yeah, Long Island,
Most people don't know. They know the Wolf of Wall Street, but Boiler Room, they changed names.
Right.
So people don't know it's his firm.
Fictitious,
But it is his. It was a salesperson's perspective who was a friend of mine who worked for Jordan, who was telling his story.
Right.
That's what Boiler Room is.
Yeah.
So it and Long Island is a trip. Okay.
It's a trip.
It is a trip. You're so right about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like you take something like that investment firm. The fact that it was on Long Island is the joke. Because like your Wall Street on Long Island.
Right. Yeah. People. I mean, anyone that's listening would understand the sort of comedic sensibilities of, where you have these guys like Seinfeld, maybe, I don't know if it's this Louis C.K. It's just this area of comedy that exists in just the everyday shop owner.
Right.
The everyday chiropractor, the everyday kind of comedy that in the characters is so rich there.
No doubt.
They haven't quite, extracted that just quite yet. You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
Comedians in cars it's kind of real, but if you really wanted a more fictitious version, I think there's something there. So,
like Cadillac Man, remember
Cadillac
that?
Man was sick, dude. Tim Robbins, that was sick. We need a new car show. Let's do it.
I know.
Let's do it.
You could start up,
Yeah.
and your band could create the music for the theme song for the show.
Well, we could create it today, actually, using AI.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll go back, we'll talk about it a little bit more, and then I'll come back and see it, and we'll see what we think. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah. Awesome, Dean.
Anything else you want to share with the listeners about what you got going on or buying any of your music, merch, and all that?
Just putting out stuff for Rev Theory under Julian Jorgensen, my own brands, which I hate to say that word brands, but, I have 3 or 4 different stuff, like basically bands that I write for, which are kind of avatars as Animator, Invader 76, And Rev Theory. So that's just spreading my wings, and check it out.
Nice. And I think you have to do a tour with Ministry.
Oh, fuck yeah. The Jorgensens?
It could be
together?
the Jorgensen tour. Jorgensen and Jorgensen tour.
My friend Dan Faulkner, who's an incredible artist from Campbell River, he's a massive Ministry fan, and he's one of my good buddies. So it's funny. I always see the irony in the fact that we're buddies, and this guy just gloms on to anything Jorgensen, you know?
Oh, man, that's great.
He's great. He'll love to hear this, so you got to send this to me when it's done. Yeah.
I will. So it's been a pleasure once again.
Awesome. You too, Dean. Nice to see you.
We're at a great venue, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipe Man on W4CY Radio.